Hey, what's up everyone? I hope you're all having a wonderful day or night, but for now, let's get into the video.
You know when it's like, oh, he's using me for my body. But then it's like, wait, he's using me for my body.
Yeah, you're winning. Of course, at some point he's gonna get bored with that body and move to the next one, but hey, it's still a win, right?
If you feel bored and you feel lonely right now, you don't have friends, you don't have a community, and everybody sucks, nobody's there for you, especially when you need people the most, you actually have more of something that the average person doesn't have, and that is the luxury of time. Time is your biggest freaking asset. You don't have kids to think about, you don't have a spouse to think about, you don't have different friends distracting you, you don't have things and people in your ear like taking your attention away from you. You could start going to the gym and get in the best shape of your life. You can start solo traveling. You could go back to university and get a degree. You can start reading books to expand your knowledge and your mind. So yeah, you might feel isolated right now. You might feel bored. You might feel lonely. But at the same time, the world is still your oyster. All that love that you could be pouring into yourself, that you so deeply look for in other people, that is when you eventually find your tribe and your community, because that is when you become magnetizing.
Oh yeah, because being magnetic is no longer cool, you need to be magnetizing. And sure, when it comes to solo traveling, I mean it's in the name, you need to be solo and traveling. But when it comes to everything else, you can do all those things even if you are in a relationship. Sure, it might be a bit more difficult if you have kids, but they're still doable. Also, what would be the reason you can't do any of that if you have friends? What would make it more difficult for you, having someone cheering you on and being by your side while you do all those things?
If you need proof of the way in which men have been socialized to believe their feelings are facts, to treat their feelings as facts, to operate on the basis that their feelings constitute facts, because patriarchy has inculcated them, not only to this belief, but to an assertion of its entitlement, to an assertion of their entitlement to it. In other words, it's not just that they believe their feelings are facts, and if they were confronted with like the reality that their feelings are not facts, oh, they would be like, oh, sorry, my bad. It's that they understand themselves to be entitled to enforce their feelings upon the world as if they are facts. It's not a lack of understanding, it's a level of entitlement. And it's not surprise, it's resentment that they feel. If you need like any evidence of the fact that men treat their feelings as facts, you need look no further than like any woman's comment section where a man just says something like, I don't know, this feels wrong to me.
And yet you don't have any men saying that in your comment section. And yes, I did check. All you have is a bunch of women cheering you on like you've said something that made sense. You're talking about proof and evidence and yet you provided none. So am I supposed to take your fifis seriously because you thought you're providing them as facts?
When a woman makes eye contact with you, you are making one huge mistake. Instead of smiling, nodding, or waving back, you know what you do? You look away. Crazy, right? I think we can both agree that looking away when a girl looks at you is a terrible strategy. And then you know what you do? You go home and you try and get a match on a dating app. We're gonna change this right now. The guys who have the most success with women, they don't just seize opportunities like that. They create them all day long. These guys start conversations with women everywhere they go. Coffee shops, the gym, on the street. They don't wait for the time to date. They simply make interacting with women part of their daily routine. And that is the most effective strategy.
Yes, that's true. I, just like so many other men, interact with women on a daily basis. That doesn't mean I want to date any of them. And what if I look away when a woman is looking at me because I'm not interested in any of that? I know it's hard to believe, but some men are not interested and some women are not everyone's cup of tea.
You ever thought about how expensive men's hobbies are? Like, I did all this research for my book, Financial Feminist, about the ways women spend money versus men. And the frivolous spending, the spending that is the reason you can't get rich or the reason you can't get ahead, is only feminine spending. It's the lattes, it's the manicures, it's shopping, right? The reason women aren't rich is because they have a shopping addiction. That is just a complete double standard because men are out here spending so much money on NFL season tickets and sports betting, on golf and golf clubs, and on the video game console and the video games, and then the opt-up add-ins, whatever, in the video game. Yet, the reason we're not rich as women is because we spend money. No, I'm sorry. I'm calling out that double standard. That is absolute bullshit. No, the reason women aren't rich is because of systemic oppression.
Yeah, of course it is. At the same time, you have all these articles saying single women own more houses. Single women make 65% of car purchases. This last one was from Forbes, by the way, so it may be true or it may be an ad for women to buy even more cars. Listen to this for a second. As more marketing is done through social media, brands are targeting obscure, in quotes, girly niches. Corporate girlies, the fitness girlies, the ADHD girlies, the IBS girlies, hot girl walk girlies, the teen fish girlies, whatever the hell that is. Even the Super Bowl was all about the girlies. After all, women run the economy, right? Well, who even knows at this point? Because on one hand, you have women complaining about whatever, and on the other hand, you have women saying that women are just crushing it.
The fact that we live in a society where in most hetero households, women are leading, and almost everybody will admit this, right? Without the woman in the house, shit will fall apart. But yet here we are on the national stages with men f***ing around and us finding out. We shouldn't be doing this. Women should be leading. Women being called too emotional is such nonsense because the most fragile people I know are men. The strongest people I know, women. Just because we are softer doesn't make us weaker. In fact, in a very hard world, being soft is courageous. I just believe that we are shifting to a more matriarchal society, but it is painful to watch the upheaval and to be so aware of our strengths. Like, I teach women how to expand their earning potential and make $250,000 in their business. The power that comes from earning more money is incredible. And when we match that power with the power we already bring to everything, which is just being women, I do believe it's going to and already is creating change. Watching the patriarchy crash out is uncomfortable as f-. You know what I mean?
Here is why seduction is such an emotional experience. Everywhere you look, men are told that you need to be alpha to attract women. Be dominant, take control, show no weakness. But if that were the only way, guys like Casanova and Don Juan wouldn't have been legendary. The truth? Women are not just drawn to muscles and money. What they really crave is an experience, excitement, mystery, the feeling that they're stepping into a story that is worth telling. So, how do you create that? Here's how this works. Number one, be unpredictable. Don't just be another guy asking, so what do you do for fun? Instead say, I bet you have a guilty pleasure that you'd never admit on a first date. Number two, make her feel understood. Listen to what excites her and then mirror it. If she loves adventure, say something like, I can already tell you be dangerous. You would be the dangerous one on a road trip. And lastly, number three, slow it down. Confidence isn't rushing. Pause, take a breath, hold eye contact, let the tension build. Being attractive isn't about proving dominant. It's about making her feel something that she just can't ignore.
Here's another TikTok therapist. Not really sure what you meant by the dangerous one on a road trip, but the dangerous ones thrive on chaos. And that's absolutely fine. Some men thrive on getting one of those until they get one more name signed on the side of their car and then they complain about it. Hold eye contact on the first date, absolutely. But doing that while being quiet to build tension makes you kind of look like a creep. And so many of you wonderful ladies complain about men not being good at conversation, so that will, well, make her want you more if you listen to this lady.
I have a question for all the ladies out there because I can't be the only one who's experiencing this lately. Nowadays, when you go out, are men just really weird? I feel like as the times progress, men are becoming more and more like, qu'est-ce que c'est, bitch made? Do men not approach women anymore, or am I just ugly or something? Because why is it that every time I'm out, this is what I see? That's all I see. Just eyes. They don't even blink. So fucking creepy and off-putting. They don't even ask for your number. They don't even ask for your name.
Well, yeah, but they're building up tension, you see? Well, according to the previous lunatic. Just like I've said earlier, just because someone is looking at you doesn't mean you're everyone's cup of tea.
Truly nothing hotter in the world than when a man lets his guard down. I'm sorry, sir. I will have your babies. I will cook you salmon. I don't know how to cook salmon, but I'll figure it out if you let your guard down. Sign me the up.
Nah, I think I'm good.
Things that will guarantee that I won't even go on a date with a guy after matching with him on a dating app. If I text a guy and his texts come back green, if he doesn't offer to pick me up or send me an Uber, if he sends an Uber and it's anything other than an Uber Black or an Uber Comfort, if I'm feeling generous.
No, please don't. Send you an Uber to pick you up? No. And not just any Uber, but the most expensive ones? Who are you? If his text comes back green, as in if he has an Android phone, that's a red flag. One of those phones that cost just as much or in some cases more than an iPhone, that's a red flag. Who are you? Well, like I said, never feel generous and just stay home.
Come on, get a strike.
Well, she did, and on the first try. But anyway, this is gonna be it for today. As always, I do hope you enjoyed it. If you didn't, I still appreciate you for making it this far. Thank you all so much for watching. Stay safe, and I will see you in the next one.